Temple in New York and Oba Afuntola's involvement. And so Oba Afuntola, he has a few history points in that he was the first African American to be initiated into the customs and the traditions of the Yoruba people in the United States that we know of. Of course, we know the Yoruba culture was here, but it was not open for African Americans to enter into it, or Africans born in this country to enter into it. It was exclusively for those who had retained it as a part of their natural tradition and history and heritage from the islands of, say, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Brazil, and the like. And so Oba Afuntola became the first African American to be initiated into Orisha, and then he became one of the first African Americans to be made to go to Igbo-Du, or to become Awoifa or Babalawo. And then His Highness continued on and established the Oyotunji Village in South Carolina, whereby Oyotunji Village was an extension of the Shango Temple in New York City, whereby His Highness decided that, well, if you want to practice this particular religion, then it involves a culture. And once you get into the culture, then you need land to live out the true essence of the culture in its entirety. You need a land base and property. So he moved south, and many followers at the time thought that he wasn't playing with a full deck of cards, because he wanted to move south during a very turbulent time in American history, which was the late 60s. And so many people who would have made the journey and would have made this experience better were unable to make it due to fear of the Ku Klux Klan, due to fear of riots and things of that sort. And so His Highness, nonetheless, stricken with self-determination, arrived in Beaufort County, and they bought a piece of land, and thus began the first settlement of traditional Yoruba culture in America. Of course, there were others, but none quite exactly like Oyotunji. Of course, there was an African town in Mobile, Alabama, Oklahoma, and different places, but none quite like this. I believe the only other experience that we have similar to Oyotunji in the New World would be the village of Palmares in Brazil, in Pernambuco State. And so His Highness established Oyotunji African Village and went on to become crowned King of Oyotunji African Village, firstly by the Yorubas of America, and then secondly, His Highness Oni of Ife Okunade Sijuade Olubushe Ekeji, who is the Oni of Ife, second the motion of the African Americans, and presented to His Highness a sword of state, and then ordained him as a traditional Oba. And then Oyotunji continues to this day, 40 years later, inviting and hosting people here who want to learn more and get a good visual of what a traditional Yoruba people would live like. Oyotunji could be, in lots of ways, it can be parallel to a Chinatown or a Jewish town or a German town or something of that nature, whereby you find an ethnic people who have migrated to this country who have not totally thrown away all of their traditions and culture, and you can walk about their neighborhoods and towns and see writing in their traditional language. You can see shrines. You can taste food and cuisine. And, of course, this is America. And in America, people are beginning to come out of their shells and sample other cultures other than European cultures. And so there's many accomplishments to the credit of the elders who had the self-determination to put this concept all together of a Yoruba community in North America and Yoruba organized religion in North America. And so I would really love to hear what your callers have to say. For the most part, I could go on and on and on, but definitely I would like to hear what your callers have to say. All in all, it's about them, and we would like to, they could steer this in a particular direction.
Okay. We'll go ahead and take our first callers. Our first caller is calling from the area.
For the most part, I can go on, but definitely I would like to hear what your callers have to say, all in all about them. And we'd like to
cut your volume down. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to hear you. You're going to get a feedback. 252. If you could cut your volume down. Our first caller is calling from the area. For the most part, I can go on, but definitely I would like to hear what your callers have to say. 252. Can we get you to cut your volume down, please?
I believe we lost him. I believe he's not there anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Alafia.
Can you hear me? Yeah, Alafia. Alafia, sir. This is Yeah, so I am just in Osaremi. I am just supporting this. I'm so glad that you're having this show. I don't have a lot to say. I just want to give you kudos, and I want to tell Abba, our Highness and our King, that I'm just glad that you are speaking about this and educating the masses on this. And Ekusoro.
Adupe Pupo.
Thank you.
And it's always a good thing to hear words of support, because what I represent in this day and age is a continuation of the work that has been done before we were crowned as Oba here in North America. And so it's always good to hear words of support.
Sure. We have another caller on the line from area code 910. 910.
Hello, Alafia.
Alafia.
Alafia ka BAC. This is Bumi from California. I want to play. And Baba, I was wondering, you're having a big Shango festival, a reggae festival on the 28th, 29th, or 30th, I think. I apologize for the date. But can you elaborate more on that?
Yes, the 40th annual Shango Festival. To my meager knowledge, it is the longest running and largest Shango festival in North America. And as of 4 years ago, Shango is the Orisha of theater. Shango is the Orisha of production. And in the Shango readings that we were getting pre-festival, Shango was saying that the energy needed to be more of theatrics. It needed to be entertainment. We needed to have more theater, artists, musicians, and the like. And so we implemented a international music production show. And so we're going to have this particular Shango festival. And so when you arrive at Shango Festival, you can expect to greet the Egungun Alakoro, who is the great ancestor of the Yoru of the Shango Temple. And so we also, Sunday, will have the Shango Bembe. And, of course, there will be parades and a children's party, to my knowledge. And then Saturday night, we will be having the Rising Sun reggae concert here in the village, whereby we give Oyotunji a bit of a contemporary feel for people who may be afraid to come. A lot of people think that Oyotunji is only for black people to come in, or it's only for people of a particular type of Yoruba sect, or it's very exclusive. But actually we are inclusive, and this particular event for the past 4 years has brought in people from many, many different walks. We even had people here from international. We had people here from Costa Rica last year, people from Tennessee. People come from all around to be a part of that energy of dancing together and music within an African village. And they do not have to buy a ticket to go to Africa, or they do not need a passport. And so as a former musician myself, it is a beautiful time for people to get together. And I agree with the Dalai Lama when he said that the way to heal the world is through more festivals and parties, whereby people can socialize and get in a space where nobody is above anybody else. You know? So we expect everyone to come out and enjoy the Grand Festival of King Shango, which is, I believe that's July 30th. Yes, it's going to be July 30th weekend, that Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, okay. So basically you're stating to me right now, you're saying that even though it's like piece of Africa inside of America, and you're going to have a festival for all of us, no matter what color, ethnic, age, or religion. We're all welcome. Is that what you're saying? That you're giving an invite to all of us people?
Well, indeed. Oyotunji is a crucible for the study and for studying and sharing knowledge. And so daily we give tours throughout the year to to thousands of people per year. And all of those people come from different walks of life, from Germany, Finland, Japan, all over the world and all across the United States, and we share. And we're at a pivotal point in history and a pivotal point in development, the redevelopment of mankind, whereby, as this particular generation, we have to set an example of tolerance, and we have to set an example of understanding. And a great way to do that is by having a social event. Everyone knows that. When you go to a social event, you just feel better.
Yeah.
And so at the same time, we would implement knowledge, wisdom, and culture and education in between, woven in between the social event. And so, yes, we do want all peoples. And Oyotunji is not some imposing edifice in the woods of South Carolina, And so we are at a point in history whereby we have to do a lot of PR, even in our local community, to let people know that at least me as the king, I have to be able to get the message out to my local people and national, international people that, of course, we are open. We are open for community, because at the end of the day, no matter where you're from, you're still a part of the global village.
Sure. Well, I thank you for your time, and I shall make sure I'm there, and I thank you for actually keeping up the struggle and the fight to educate and keep all people educated about the African people here in America, and letting them know that you're going to have to let your history, nor your culture, or anything die. It's still right here, so if you can't afford to fly there, at least we can afford to fly to Oyotunji. So I want to tell you thank you very much, and I appreciate everything that you're doing for the African nation, especially the Yoruba nation here in America.
Ashe, Adupe Pupa, and may the ancestors continue to give us the strength to move forward.
Ashe, Madupe. Okay, Odabo, sir.
Odabo.
Odabo, Adupe.
Osaremi?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. Yeah, I enjoyed your last caller. Actually, at the end of her comment, she said the struggle and the fight. I'm beginning to look at this not as a struggle or a fight. We don't have a fight against anyone. If anything, we have a fight against ourselves as African people or African descendants in the New World. And we have to fight against those ills within ourselves. But externally, there are enemies, so to speak. We can conjure some up, but the real enemy is consumption, and the real enemy is not being able to get along and not building strong community with the brethren that are by your flank or that are flanked on your shoulders, And so, yes, it's not necessarily a fight; it's a construction. And I use that analogy because being a builder or coming from a construction background, I know the power in people working together. I've seen what we can do when people work together. If you're working on a job, let's say many years ago I used to work in 5-story buildings, producing them, and everyone would come in and had their thing to do. And everybody come in, the tile guys, the floor guys, the wall guys, the stucco guys, and by the end of that particular tenure for that work, the entire job is done, and they have produced something collectively. Now, today we do jobs and things with the motivation of money, but when we do those things together without no motivation, just motivation for being human and the motivation in producing something together and something cultural and something that's sustainable, oh, wow, the payoff is enormous and you feel good.
Sure. I want you to talk about what is constructed in Oyotunji and what